Nightreign introduced 8 new bosses to the FromSoft series, and yes, I'm calling it the FromSoft series, buddy. And in today's video, we're going to go ahead and rank them not necessarily by difficulty, but just how enjoyable they are. Let's get into it. Coming in dead last has to be Mara's Fathom of Night, better known as Augur. I feel like if you're playing a melee build with this Nightlord, it kind of reminds me of the Elden Beast fight where you're just running around constantly trying to chase him. Now, if you're playing Iron Eye, Recluse, or you're even playing Revenant, then it could be a little bit more manageable because obviously you have some long range. But this fight, it's just not exciting. The OST is okay, so it's not... that makes up for it a tiny bit, but not makes it really anywhere higher on the list. For this boss fight, if you're a melee character, you're basically going to just spend your time either destroying tentacles, destroying the jellyfish, or even again relying on your ranged characters to destroy the nuke that he drops. It's just not a very fun, engaging fight. To me, the arena is kind of bland too, so that's why he comes in at number 8. We have at number 7, Noster, Wisdom of Night, or the Sentient Pest for most people that know it. And for the reason why this one's here at number 7 is because this one is a relatively non-difficult boss fight. Now, some people may look at me like, how? For the most part, when you're fighting the Scorpion on the floor, if you basically stay to his side and just keep dodging the one-up kick move that he does, for the most part, you can get in a ton of free hits. And especially if you're playing melee, hitting Noster himself is pretty easy. He's not that aggro in the very first phase. All you have to do is dodge some simple magic projectiles and the occasional poison that he likes to throw out. Now, I know in the second phase, when they go together, things can turn up the heat a little bit, but for the most part, it's still the same type of technique. If you just stay close and to either the side or behind the boss, you can get a ton of free hits on him. And I'm not a fan of the poison, but I do like the fact that you can knock off the poison bug if you do happen to get poisoned. As far as for the OST, I don't really care for it. And for his arena, nothing really out of the ordinary for me. Coming into the number 6 spot, we have Gladius, the Beast of Night. Now, this tutorial boss is no pushover, so I just want everybody to know, especially if this is your first time playing Nightreign or if you've played any other type of Souls games before. And yes, I said Souls games. Deal with it, buddy. This is a wonderful tutorial boss. Now, obviously, on the scale of how difficult he is not hard at all. I do really enjoy his arena, though. The fact that when he goes and splits into the 3 dogs, and it looks like a giant sunset just hits the arena, really go ahead and like it. But of course, because the fact that he is the tutorial boss, it will go ahead and knock him down, because there are going to be bosses, obviously, that I'm going to talk about that outshine Gladius. But I do not think that he has a lot of negatives on him. I just think a lot of the other bosses have more things to offer and a better atmosphere than he does. This is the one that people might start disagreeing with, but at number 5, it's going to be Caligo. And the reason why she is at number 5 is because her actual boss fighter herself, she's not difficult. I just don't find it as engaging and as fun as I would like it to have. Now, she has by far the top 3 best OSTs in the game. And the arena looks absolutely gorgeous, especially when you get to her second phase. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The first time that I heard this, every single time I hear that transition from her, the hairs on my body stand up and I get the most insane goosebumps. I can't remember the last time a boss OST did that to me. By far, cinema. But other than that, again, the enjoyment of the fight is just sometimes not there, especially with the lot of frostbite damage. And you add in the Deep of Night now, where you can now give yourself negative stats, it just makes it a whole world of pain. And of course, shout out to the amazing huge dragon eye in the background of the arena. Squeezing into the number 4 spot is Adele, Baron of Night, or Gaping Jaw. What I like about this boss is, first of all, it took me a while to notice that Gaping Jaw is a dragon with his head just like, it looks like somebody took his head and just snapped it to the side, which is kind of sounds very painful. I also like the fact that he's very aggressive onto a particular player, and that player usually, if you're playing a ranged character, is you, so good luck with that one. But I also like the fact that his second phase, I really enjoy the electricity. I know a lot of people don't like it because it's kind of like a lot of clutter on the screen, it's a bunch of spam, but personally I enjoy it. It keeps me on my toes, it keeps me wanting to keep moving out the way. And not only that, the background was like a giant freaking hole in the sky. It's like a giant like black hole type thing in the sky. I think it's really cool. And not only that, what I really also like about Gaping Jaw is that he can punish a player very easy. If you get hit by that grab attack, so unless you are Guardian with a massive health pool or you have a ton of resistance in the bleed category, you're either going down or barely making it out. So I like the fact that he's aggressive and he keeps you on your toes. We are now getting into the top 3 of my favorite bosses in Nightreign, and coming in at number 3, we have the demon himself, Libra. They always say you should never make a deal with the devil, but sometimes he offers some great deals, like I wish for eventual greatness, or sometimes I'll even take the resistance to all the ailments in the game, because when this man hits you with madness, it is insane. And eventual greatness is actually one of my favorite buffs to get, because you lose 30% if you're in the boss fight for 2 minutes to get a 20% buff to all your stats, or if you are doing it out on your run, if you survive the day, then you go ahead and get the buff. But what I like about Libra is the fact that seems like this kind of calm, cool person. He likes things to be balanced. Hence why usually when you see him there, he's got his little thing there. So it looks like a little scale. He likes to keep things balanced. And it's funny because he dishes out madness, but is also weak to madness because he gets to keep that balance. But I like the fact that when you inflict him with too much madness, he becomes this absolutely insane maniac who then goes and throws every type of madness in the book. He even hits you with this.
Armed and dangerous! Again! 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 Again!
Now, Libra's boss arena is not good at all. It looks pretty plain to me, but his OST in the background does kind of keep your blood pumping. It kind of makes it keep you on your toes. And this is probably the first boss that I can say I really struggled with when I first started playing Nightreign, because I did not realize that how insane the madness damage was. And the fact that he is just spamming and spamming and spamming. But at least after he uses abilities, they drop these little orbs that you can pick up, which sometimes either heal you, and they, of course, they drop your madness bar. But overall, I enjoy Libra's boss fight. He's such a cool concept of a boss. And honestly, I hope in future FromSoft games, they do more bosses like this. Number 2 is none other than Fulgur, Champion of Nightglow, or the Dark Drift Knight. When I first saw this boss, he reminded me for some reason of Gundyr from Dark Souls 3, and Gundyr is my favorite boss, so I immediately wanted to go and face him. And I still kind of get like this feeling or similarity that they have like the same story, even though they don't. But his armor and Gundyr just reminded me so much of each other, and his boss fight is really good. Now, he is not necessarily a super tough boss or the most difficult boss in the game, but his fight is so enjoyable. And I really do like the way that his arena looks, especially when he goes into his second phase and he gets that, it kind of looks like an abyss arm, and then you get the banners going up in the air. Really good. It kind of reminds me again of when Udex Gundyr had the pus of man come out of him. Not only that, I also kind of notice it feels like sometimes that the arm takes control, and it looks like Fulgur just kind of going along with it. Doesn't sometimes look like he's in control of those attacks, which is something subtle I kind of noticed. And then of course at the end of the day, his OST is absolutely phenomenal. It is Chef Kiss, and that's why it comes in at number 2. Coming in at number 1 is the Nightlord himself, Hollister. That's probably not the correct pronunciation. I've heard Heelster, Holster, I don't know, but I'm gonna call him Hollister. That's what I've been calling him. He comes in at number 1 because, by gosh, do I love this boss fight. The atmosphere is perfect. His boss fight is absolutely amazing. It just made me go back to that feeling when you first started playing these type of games and you just get that epic boss fight. And absolutely, it's one of those bosses that you're sitting there talking about, this boss is trash, I hate it, and then you beat him and you're like, cinema. And don't even get me started the first time we saw him do this. The first time I saw this man fly up into the air and legit put a hole in the freaking sky. And in case you guys didn't know, each time he opens up a hole in the sky, he's actually looking into the arenas of the previous Nightlords, depending on which element he's about to use. And that is absolutely badassery. The first time I saw that and he dropped the nuke, I was absolutely stunned. I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe it. And it's a nice callback to all the other Nightlords to go to show why he is the man. He is the man, the myth, the legend himself. This whole boss fight, it had me, I'm talking, feet kicking in the air, geeking. And not only that, if you did Wilder's secret ending, that just added more freaking feeling to his boss fight. The fact that Wilder is willing to go and become the Nightlord, because if the Nightlord is defeated, then his sister Duchess is lost to history with the round of whole table. So he's willing to make himself the Nightlord to keep her going. Honestly, a brother sacrificing for his sister deserves number 1 on this list. There you have it, my Souls fans, my list for the Nightlords of Nightreign, from 8 all the way down to 1. Let me know what you think of this list. What would you change and who would be your number 1? Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and as always, don't you dare go hollow.